Good evening, Barry Levinson, longtime resident. On May 16, 2017, documented visual proof was provided to this council concerning the many structural violations of the just completed and city celebrated very expensive $1.7 million stairway connecting Hillcrest Park to a sports area known as Lions Field. Well, one member of the city council, Greg Seaborn, was apparently sufficiently embarrassed to speak up and state that the council should get a refund from that contractor or contractors. So after Councilmember Seaborn made that statement, he of course brought forth a motion to sue the contractor for damages, quickly seconded by another council member. Well, that never happened. Well, then of course he made a motion to put the possible lawsuit against the contractor or contractors on the next city council agenda for consideration. Well, that didn't happen either. Well, then he obviously asked to agendize a complete report from staff informing the public which Fullerton employee or employees signed off on this fiasco. Well, that never happened either. So I guess we should all give Greg Seaborn a Bronx cheer for doing absolutely nothing to fix the problem or hold anyone inside or outside the city government accountable. Another item I'd like to discuss, relates to my comments at the April 20th, 2017 meeting. I pointed out then how Captain John Siko misled both Joe Imbriano and myself while attempting to file a criminal police report against former Police Chief Dan Hughes. Now we learn that he has just been appointed our acting police chief. It was just a couple of weeks ago that we were waiting for the formal police chief to be announced, but now all of a sudden we have an acting police chief. Isn't that just wonderful? I pointed out at that council meeting that honest police departments don't call in off-duty police captains to thwart efforts as citizens to file a simple police report. Unfortunately for the FPD, we now know that the Orange County District Attorney investigator, A. Santos, recommended last January to an assistant Orange County District Attorney, Ibrahim Beytek, that criminal obstruction of justice charges be filed against Dan Hughes. The allegation was that the assistant DA told Santos that Hughes was his friend and he would not file those charges, and Santos was later thrown off the case entirely. It is now part of an ongoing whistleblower case. All I like to say in summation is that if you want to continue to have the FPD under the earned shroud of corruption, then I believe John Siko is your man. Thank you.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, ladies and gentlemen of the council, ladies and gentlemen of the audience. My name is Joe Briano. I run the FullertonInformer.com. I want to talk about our little trip to the police department. We had good reason to believe on a reliable source that a criminal act took place by a high-level official in our police department, Mr. Hughes, Dan Hughes. Amongst other things, destruction of evidence and basically textbook case of obstruction of justice, possibly involving other officers at the scene. So what we wanted to do was go to the police department and file a police report. And so we went to the lobby, and we would expect somebody to tend to us in a uniform. And mysteriously, some man appears in what looked like gym outfits, not once, but twice. So we were tended to twice by an off-duty police officer when we went to report a crime. Now, I don't know about you, but that doesn't seem like the right way to run a police department. We had a watch commander, we had officers on duty, and we had cadet clerks at the counter. And yet we're told to sit down and wait for Mr. Siko to show up. Now, the third time we were there, getting nowhere fast, by the way, we were told that I was going to be receiving a letter confirming that a report had been filed. And what I got instead was a letter documenting my presence at the police department. We have the district attorney trying to cover up what happened. We have someone at the time who was the captain of the uniform division referring me to a Mr. Ibrahim Beytek, who's the guy that's trying to keep this thing from being investigated. So Mr. Siko referred me to the guy that threw the investigator off the obstruction of justice case. That went down back in January. My trip to the police station was a couple months later. We cannot have a police department run by somebody that plays games with the public like that. I did not know who this gentleman was when I went into that police station. I never saw him before. And he seemed like a nice guy. But the second time, when I was thrown a curveball, and then the third time, we can't have these kind of people in control of a standing army that has the power to destroy people's lives by falsifying evidence, by framing people, or conversely, letting criminals get away with crimes. I'm here tonight to urge you to listen to what we've just said in your decision on who's going to run this police department going forward. Thank you.